We're learning new and weird things about AI every day, whether we want to or not. For example, in the Will AI Replace Our Jobs category, guess what humans are uniquely suited for? We're good at meetings. So maybe those Zoom meetings you hate are the ticket to keeping your job. Another thing we're experimenting with in real time, where is AI appropriate in education? At Clarkson, an engineering school here in the North Country, a professor believes AI is inevitable, so he wants his students to learn the most they can. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Long Run Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor in Lake Placid, providing comprehensive wealth management, retirement, and financial planning solutions. LongRunWealth.com. And the Devlin Inn and Suites, Lake Placid, welcoming families, athletes, and groups to the Olympic Village, offering Adirondack mountain views and dog-friendly accommodations. TheDevlinNY.com.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Wednesday, April 22nd. First up, schools across New York are nearing the deadline to present their budgets to voters. Rising costs and uncertain revenue streams are putting some districts in a tight financial spot. David Albert with the New York State School Boards Association says programs and utility bills are adding up for school districts, and so are increasing healthcare costs.
Health insurance always tends to be a big ticket item for school districts. It tends to go up often by double digits year after year.
Albert says schools are also waiting on the legislature to pass the state budget. That'll determine how much state aid they'll receive.
So as schools are putting their budgets together, they're estimating what they may get in state aid because they don't know for sure. And so sometimes this causes districts to be a little bit on the conservative side because they don't want to overestimate and then have a revenue gap.
Once school boards adopt a budget, districts will put them up for a public vote by May 19th. Governor Kathy Hochul wants to tax expensive second homes in New York City. But would that apply to President Trump's penthouse? As John Campbell reports for the New York Public News Network, it's complicated.
The governor wants the tax to apply to second homes worth at least $5 million. But is that assessed value or market value or some other valuation? Hochul and lawmakers haven't nailed that down, and it'll determine whether the president's penthouse triplex at Trump Tower qualifies. Hochul says Trump should just move back to New York. If that happened, then
whatever property he has will not be subject to this, and this could be incentive for people to want to, become New Yorkers again.
The proposed tax is wrapped into broader state budget talks. The budget is now more than 3 weeks late. In Albany, I'm John Campbell for the New York Public News Network.
A number of studies have found that upwards of 80% of undergraduates report using AI tools in their schoolwork, but their feelings about those tools are mixed. Amy Feiereisel spoke with students at Clarkson University in Potsdam to get their thoughts about artificial intelligence.
Okay, so I have a distances, right? So now I know if I just look at this.
In his Intro to Machine Learning class at Clarkson University, Professor Mahesh Banavar is showing students how to use previous data, the building blocks of artificial intelligence, to predict what customers will like about a product. That's to replace actually surveying people. It's essentially a lot of high-level math and modeling work.
When it's 2, it's C and D, still good. When it's 3, I get C, D, and A, correct?
Banavar is a professor embracing all things artificial intelligence, including large language models like ChatGPT and Claude.
When they graduate from here and they go to the workforce, everybody is going to be using these tools. So do we want to be in a situation where we have artificially handcuffed our students saying, you shall not use these tools here, but then they go out and they're competing with people who know how to use these tools?
The students in this class range in age from 21 to 30. When I ask how many of them use AI tools, it's unanimous. All of them. This is the world now. Lucas Houghton says last fall he got an A in a really challenging final by using a large language model.
By using AI to teach me the entirety of the course content in one night, I asked the model to explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old, and then like I'm in college, and then used that to bridge the gap between them.
Yash Sukhdev is a PhD student in the electrical engineering department. He says tools like the AI chatbot Claude have completely changed his workflow. Instead of writing computer code, he supervises Claude writing the code. But that doesn't mean he has more free time now.
Previously, when a professor used to give me some work, he used to expect it to be like in 1 or 2 months. Now the expectation from his end has also increased a lot. So I'm expected to do a lot of work in 15 days.
And to use these tools effectively, Sukhdev says you really do have to supervise and check them because they make lots of mistakes.
When I'm doing research, I force AI to look into papers, give me exact citations and the lines in the paper where it actually is written.
All the students I spoke with said that the ability to critically evaluate what a chatbot produces is paramount. And they say they have those skills. But some questioned whether younger students have the same judgment, the ones who started using AI tools in high school.
High school students have access to great AI services, but I'm afraid that they'll not learn as much.
Muhammad Ali Raihan is getting his PhD in physics and teaches freshman and sophomore students at Clarkson. He says it's clear that many of his students are using AI tools to get answers for their homework, but they don't actually understand the concepts, and that shows in their exam scores.
Homework percentages are 95, but when you look at the exams, it's not that great, even with much easier questions.
While adoption of AI tools is widespread, less than a fifth of recently surveyed teenagers and young adults said that they feel hopeful about AI. That's according to a Gallup survey released earlier this month. Nearly a third of respondents said the technology makes them feel angry. Savannah Alfs, an electrical engineering senior, doesn't have negative feelings about AI tools, but she does try to avoid them in certain situations.
There's times when you need to struggle with a concept in order to gain intuition and gain experience, not just conceptual understanding.
She says she tries to use AI tools selectively and often asks for resources instead of a final answer. And there are times when she doesn't want to be influenced at all, like with creative projects or fundamental concepts.
There's times when it's nice to feel the expanse of your brain and test it and push it a little bit farther.
Alf says she wishes there was more discussion in her classes about how to use artificial intelligence and about the ethical implications. The students in Banavar's class say they're all figuring out how to use these tools on the fly. There is no manual right now, and very little official guidance in higher education overall. Part of that is because things are moving so quickly, says Professor Banavar.
Even in the past 1 year, the tools have changed. And so any policy that we could have thought we could work with 2 years ago would be useless now.
He says even within Clarkson, there's very little coordination between all the different projects and research that are utilizing artificial intelligence. He'd like to see that change and is part of a group of professors looking into creating an AI center. Banavar says proficiency with these tools and the ability to adapt as they continue to evolve will be critical for his students.
We have to teach them in such a way that they're able to take any new thing that they're faced with, open it up, look inside, understand what it is.
He says if his students are presented with a black box that does magic, he wants them to be able to figure out how. Amy Feiereisel, North Country Public Radio at Clarkson University in Potsdam.
Every day, NCPR's reporters are out in the community, in classrooms like at Clarkson, at farms, at dinner tables, stores, parks, town and school board meetings, to talk to people about what's really going on. It's the heart of our journalism, working stories from the ground up. That reporting takes time and it takes money. You help make local journalism possible with your donation right now during our spring fundraiser. Go to ncpr.org/give and please help keep a free press strong. Donate now, ncpr.org/give. Thanks so much. Music today by Caitlin Scholl of Lake Placid and Eric Pasternak of Bloomingdale. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.